Nice yacht. Mm-hmm.
Want to make sure we can hear you.
Yeah. I'll talk now. Then I can be taller than everybody else for once in my life. For coming today.
Sorry, we're the mall.
Enjoy.
Well, I'm getting out of here when I saw the bus come.
I can't blame you.
You guys have to come closer
Guys gotta come up closer.
so you can hear. Come up in the middle.
There you go.
Now I'm taller than I used to be.
That's better. Two more coming, it looks like. Yeah. Are y'all warm enough out here?
Actually, it's warmer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's cooling down by the
Right
water.
now, there's no real wind blowing.
Yeah, a week or two ago, it was almost 90. Nothing. We've had such strange weather and now back cold. Everywhere. When Helen's grandparents came here from Virginia, David and Mary Keller came and bought 640 acres. Today we only have 10, but in 1820 this was the second home built in Tuscumbia. And it looked like a big farm. They had barns, gardens, orchards, farm animals. Everything was made, raised, or grown right here. It stayed in the Keller family for decades, so we're lucky to have a lot that's original. And we do have some people in town related to Helen through her sister Mildred. And they have things in their home that belong to Helen and Annie too. When you're inside, pay attention to the nails. The nails were made by the blacksmith in 1820, and they said it would take 4 minutes to make one nail. So nails were a really big deal. They would burn and tear down buildings just to get the nails out. And when I look at the floor, I think 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes. That's a lot of work went into the nails. Helen's grandparents had a big family here, and we talk about Helen's father and sister, the last two of that immediate family that lived in the home. Helen's father was named Arthur Keller. He was a captain in the Confederate Army, so everybody called him Captain Keller. Here in town, he was an attorney. He was also editor of the local newspaper called the North Alabamian. His printing press is still downtown in one of the old buildings. It's massive. You'd have to either tear it apart or tear the building down to get it out. It's so big. But the plates that were the last one that he ran are still lying on the printing press. So he grew up in this house, had a family of his own. He married a lady named Sarah Simpson, and they had two boys, James and Simpson. But Sarah got sick and died after 10 years of marriage, and he was left with two sons. So a year later, guess what he did? Got married. And he found a young bride 20 years younger than he. He was 42 and she was 22. He married a girl that was from a fancy family in Memphis, Tennessee, Kate Adams. Her family descended from John Adams and John Quincy Adams. She was a Memphis belle, and her father was a brigadier general. I've always thought this was probably a lifestyle change for Kate. This was a working plantation. But when he married Kate, this little cottage right next door began as an office for the plantation, but over time they had added a room and a porch and made it like, I would say, a guest house or an annex to this house. But when he married Kate, he furnished it for her. He called it their bridal suite. So when you look in the cottage today, you're going to see where Helen was born. June the 27th, 1880, perfectly healthy. At 19 months old, she ran a high fever, and it left her completely deaf, completely blind. More modern doctors have said that was probably scarlet fever. They called it brain fever in that time. There wasn't anything anyone could do. Have you seen the movie called Miracle Workers?
Yeah.
A lot of you, most of you. It showed her behavior. It became terrible. Helen was described as looking and acting almost like a little wild animal on the property. She would have tantrums, cry, break things. She could be very mischievous. She was always into something. Helen, as they learned later, was high-level genius. So here's this real smart mind locked in a dark, silent world, and her way to communicate was not always easy to live with. Her sister was born when she was 6 years old. Helen became very jealous of this new baby getting all the attention, so one day she turned the cradle over with the baby in it. And that shocked the family. It scared them. And they said, we've got to find help somewhere for Helen. They learned of an eye specialist in Baltimore, Maryland, doing things no one had done. They got on the train, went to see him. He said, there's nothing I can do. Take her to see Alexander Graham Bell. The inventor of the telephone was a teacher of the deaf. He lived in Canada, but he came to Washington, D.C. often, and Helen met him when she was 6 years old, and they were friends for life. He's the one that told her family she doesn't need a doctor, she needs a teacher. He said, go home and write a letter to Perkins School for the Blind, make an offer of what you could pay someone to come to your home in Alabama. Perkins is in Massachusetts. It's Watertown, Massachusetts, not far from Boston. So they did that, and the letter arrived at Perkins School for the Blind, and there was a young lady there named Ann Sullivan who had just graduated from Perkins. She had no family, no money, poor vision. She was worried about what she would do. So they told her, there's an opportunity for you, Annie, but you'll be a teacher. It will be for a blind and deaf child. It will be in Tuscumbia, Alabama. And I always think, you know, she thought, where in the world is that? You probably thought that too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.